Do you still love me or not?
I need something outside.
Hi, welcome to Frankly Loverly, formerly Frankly K. Here I do financial videos, journal with me's, book reviews, and vlogs. So if you are interested in any of that, go ahead and subscribe and join the Midnight Cult Party. If you didn't know, that's the name, that's the club here. It's also the name of a segment where I like push things that don't really fit into vlogs or whatever, that might be really centralized items. Like, so when I'm doing anything that has to do with my closet, when I'm doing anything that's like what I ate, if I'm doing like what's in my bag, or if I'm doing any curated thing. So in my last apartment, it was like I was building a pretty balcony. Of course, now I've moved, so I've got a new balcony, and I might start that all over again because winter came and those plants died. So welcome to Frankly Financial, where awareness and clarity means power. Today's topic is purely, about payment plan apps. So I mean things like Afterpay, Klarna, Sezzle, Zip, Shop, stuff like that. And apparently Cash App now does it. It could be for Cash App card holders or something, because I didn't have mine, but also it could just be people with new phones so they can have updated Cash App. My phone's very old, won't update to the new iOS, and I can't do a lot of things. These payment plan apps, I know you've seen a lot of discourse on it over the years, and most of the discourse is basically talking about how predatory it can be. I feel, you know that phrase, what path to hell is paved with good intentions. This is another example of that. Like, there's many examples of that, honestly. That's why the phrase exists. But if you really look at it, there is a way to control what's going on. Like, if you are actually on demon time when you're using these apps and you have zero plans to pay it back and zero means to pay it back, but you have $14 and you about to buy like $6 worth of stuff, then, you know what I mean? That's when it becomes a problem. But in its essence, in its true nature, I actually don't think they're that bad, and I think they can be used really well. So that means you have some income coming in for the next 6 weeks. This is the biggest thing to me. If you know you have income coming in for the next 6 weeks that could afford this over time, that's literally the point of the app. So say what I want to buy, the basket is $120. But here's the catch, what I think is the catch. The $120 is because things are on sale, or there's some sort of clearance, or like a holiday special, or somebody's running a promotion, and you want to take advantage of that. But it's still more than you have right now, but you know that you have a steady income and wiggle room in that income. So if you have about 30 extra dollars that usually you play with or something like that, my suggestion is that you can use these apps. That's what these apps are for, in these instances where you don't have all of it right now, but you got a piece of it. That way you can get the thing right now. Take advantage of the sale, take advantage of the promotion, take advantage of the fact, even if it's something like back to school stuff, you need to get your kids stuff, like, and it's school's coming. You know you have a job or you're going to have some money coming from somewhere. That's how you pay it down, but you take advantage of being able to buy that sale in that moment. However, there's a difference between taking advantage of something that you already wanted, knowing that you can pay it down over the next couple weeks, because it's how people are utilizing these apps with no intention to pay it back, or they know that they don't have a steady income, but they have $14 and they want that clothes, they want that outfit today, that kind of thing. Then you put yourself in a bad situation, and this allows for it to continue. But essentially, if you use it in the way that I was describing, you'll be just fine. You will be just fine, and you'll be able to have the things that you want immediately. The same concept happened in the 90s. And let me tell you, called layaway. Remember layaway? Okay. Early 2000s was the last time that I saw that. I feel like that's the last time that I saw layaway, and it was inside Marshall's. So like layaway is the same thing, except you didn't get to take the stuff home with you. You had to leave it there behind the layaway desk, and then with the layaway you come back every week or every month or whatever and put a little money. I think you could come back whenever you wanted and put money down and keep putting money down until you paid it off, and then you take it home. So this one instead gives you an actual, today's layaway, gives you the thing up front, and then just keeps your information on file and then charges you, right, every 2 weeks. Most of them are 2 weeks. Things like Affirm, who always checked credit first, they did monthly plans, and you could stretch that out and probably get bigger purchases. I do believe that inquiries still low-key affect, especially when it's a lot of soft inquiries. I don't know for sure, but I'm not like the credit master. But I would just say be careful. Doing any inquiries is like annoying. But soft credit, essentially, it doesn't do anything. But I think multiple inquiries, I think it shows up in the back end somewhere. I'm gonna research that, but I have a strong suspicion that it still shows up on the back end, like internally. You know what I mean? Because anyway, but yeah, so that's the whole thing about Afterpay. This is going to be a quick video because it's really just about Afterpay, like all these payment plan apps. I don't think they're bad. They're not bad, as predatory as people make them seem. They're not innately terrible things. They are actually very useful. I gave you circumstances when you need the thing immediately and you know that you can pay it over time. When you're trying to take advantage of something you've wanted for a while and it's on sale, but you don't have all of that money yet, then you know what I mean, and you could still pay. The point is having the money. What did I write? I remember layaway, and it made me realize that it was the 90s and before version of Klarna, Afterpay, Sezzle, except you did not get your stuff right away. You paid until you forgot about it, gave it up, or finished paying on it. Okay, the idea of payment plans and budgeting is not inherently bad if you plan for it, because an impulse purchase is an impulse purchase, whether you pay $6, $60, or $600. And that was my main point earlier. You don't want to give into impulse when you're using these, because then down the line you'll realize you have other stuff to pay for, and that's how you kind of fall behind. That's how you fall late. That's how you get dinged. That's how they cut your what is it? They cut your rate, like how much you can spend and stuff like that. Tips to using payment plan apps. And then I said, make sure you have future income for at least the duration of the payment plan. If you have irregular pay periods, some people get paid. Like I had one job that paid us on the 15th and the 30th. And some people, you get paid maybe once a month, or you're a contractor, you get paid per project. I had another job that paid per project, but it was still bi-weekly. They did all your projects in a bi-weekly span, but some people will get paid per project, so it's an irregular paycheck. If you don't have a job as of yet, but you have like a little money tucked away, I would say stave off on these kinds of apps, because in those instances, that's how you get caught up with unsuspected things you have to pay for. And then, of course, you're going to pick those things over the loose app that's just charging a card that doesn't have money on it. Okay? The bottom line with these apps is, as long as you know that you have wiggle room in your next paycheck to pay the amount that you owe. If you still know you owe $30 and now you have the light bill, you're like, oh, my light bill. You can put your eating out money as your payment plan money, because it's only 3 payments left. It's not forever, and it's just a lot smarter than just stiffing the payment, because you don't want to do that. That is where the trouble comes in, when you think you can skip the payment. Okay, so I said budget the payments per paycheck, perhaps offsetting another item for it instead. This is just you budgeting, you're pre-budgeting your money, right? Like you do with a budget, except now you're reallocating a certain recreational budget. Now, if you follow the other videos I have, you already have like a recreational account where that account is just made for commerce and spending. That way you have that money in there. If you just reallocate where you spend it on, it's not going to feel that bad, because you have that thing right away and you needed it, or you wanted it and the sale was now or never. It's never about not living your life. It is just about reallocating the priorities of where the money's going if you want to make it work. Now, if you can just afford that $80 because it's there, that is the perfect instance in why these apps exist. You have the money, you just don't have $320 that you want to drop all at once because your money has to go different places. But you do have that wiggle room of $80, and therefore you can get $320 worth of stuff immediately while putting it on a little payment plan. It's like having a credit card for people with no credit, but now they do soft credit pulls a lot of the time. So there you have it. I hope this video was as quick as I planned it to be. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. It's free. Just like our talks here. If anyone has anything they want me to talk about, I'm willing to do some research for the common good of this channel in financial literacy. That's what it's called, financial literacy videos. Sorry, I misspoke earlier. If you guys have any topics that you kind of want someone to just really lay flat, I am here to help do that. The next topic, I wanted to break down what's happening with student loans and the big bummy bill. So look out for that next. That's the next one. And then I had another video that had been planned before, and I think I can actually do that one really well now. But it's a more fun video. It's like breaking down the finances of the Sex and the City characters. But I wanted to do one for girlfriends, Sex and the City. There's a newer show by Tyler Perry on BET, I think, or TV One, or all in one. I don't know what it is, but it's called Sisters. I also, me, my sister, and my dad started falling into All the Queen's Men, and I kind of want to break down the money that must be going into her gentleman's club. She calls it a gentleman's club, but all the gentlemen are naked. So nobody calls a strip club the ladies' club. Anyway, I don't care. But the point is, I think it'll be fun to kind of look at those shows and look at finances from like a fiction point of view and like what things must cost. I think I'm actually going to start with All the Queen's Men just because I really want to dive into like one, what the dancers might be having to tip out, right? Because that club looked really upscale from the clips that I saw. And then two, her and her lifestyle and like the staff, security, the city they're in, stuff like that. Really deep dive into those things just for fun. I think those are fun topics of financial literacy. Yeah, don't feel bad about it, or if you want to use it and you kind of got scared out of it, just go into it, like I always say, with clarity and awareness, mindfully using these apps. Also, know that it's okay that if you don't have the money and you know you can't budget the money out, just leave it alone, or take the risk, but know exactly what you've done, because they're gonna get their money somehow. They're gonna get their money. That is the fact. So you don't want that kind of drama in your life, all right? Especially over some what, I don't know, some jeans or something. The only if you need supplies, this is a good thing for if you need supplies and don't have all the money. So buying a laptop, something like a Chromebook, they'll be like a hefty $400, $500. You might not have all that, but you have $100. You have $125, right? And then you can pay that over time. But that's a steep amount to pay every 2 weeks if you don't have it. So that's another thing. But you could get your Chromebook and be able to work. That's one thing. Say you just got a job and it's a remote job. To get your supplies to set up for that, you might have part of that money. Being able to pay it down might be a blessing. So that's another reason why I think these apps are a good thing. That's why I'm on the side of using these apps, but with awareness and clarity. I am not going to infantilize the people using these apps and say that you guys don't know better and that you can't possibly think of ways to make these apps work the way that they're supposed to work for you. Okay? I think you can do it. I think you have the brain capacity, the mental fortitude, and the willpower to be able to budget and know what you should and shouldn't do and not take those risks. Or take the risks and know that, the punishments and whatever else may be coming. I should say consequences, not punishments. But anyway, that's all. Have a good one. I hope you have a good day. I hope you enjoy the balance of your week. New video coming. Bye.
Do you still love me or not?
I need 7 outside.